Scanning the horizon, trends shaping future wealth. To truly ascend into the echelon of ultra high net worth individuals, one must cultivate an almost prescient ability to discern the faint signals of future change before they become deafening roars. This isn't merely about staying informed, it's about developing an acute sensory apparatus that can detect the underlying currents shaping tomorrow's economic landscape. The established paradigms of wealth creation, while effective for a time, are constantly being eroded and reshaped by forces unseen to the casual observer. Our objective here is to equip you with the strategic foresight necessary to not just react to these shifts, but to position yourself at their leading edge. This proactive stance is the bedrock upon which generational wealth is built, distinguishing mere accumulators from true architects of fortune. It demands a deliberate and continuous process of intellectual engagement, moving beyond superficial headlines to grasp the profound implications of emerging trends. Understanding these nascent patterns allows for the strategic allocation of capital, talent, and energy long before the masses catch on. This initial step is less about finding answers and more about asking the right questions, preparing the ground for the deeper dives into specific opportunities. The relentless march of technological innovation remains the most potent and often the most disruptive force shaping the future of wealth. We are not merely witnessing incremental improvements, but rather exponential leaps that redefine entire industries and create entirely new ones from scratch. Consider the transformative power of artificial intelligence, which is rapidly moving beyond academic theory into practical applications across every conceivable sector, from healthcare diagnostics to financial trading algorithms. Its pervasive integration promises unprecedented efficiencies, personalized experiences, and entirely novel business models that challenge long-held assumptions about labor, value, and even creativity. Those who can identify where AI will create the most significant leverage, either by building AI-powered solutions or by strategically integrating them into existing operations, stand to capture immense value. This isn't a distant future. It's the immediate present, demanding a reevaluation of how businesses operate and how investments are structured. Beyond the general wave of AI, the specific advancements in machine learning, natural language processing, and computer vision are opening up highly specialized niches for wealth creation. Imagine the demand for experts who can ethically deploy AI, ensuring fairness and transparency, or for innovators who can develop robust AI security protocols to protect sensitive data. The picks and shovels approach to the AI gold rush involves investing in the foundational infrastructure, the specialized chips, cloud computing resources, and data management platforms that power these intelligent systems. Furthermore, the application of AI to complex problems like drug discovery, climate modeling, or personalized education represents not just scientific breakthroughs, but multi-billion-dollar market opportunities. Savvy investors and entrepreneurs are already identifying these critical junctures, placing strategic bets on the companies and technologies that will form the backbone of an AI-driven economy. It is a landscape ripe with opportunity for those with the vision to see beyond the hype and pinpoint tangible value. Another seismic shift is occurring within the realm of decentralized technologies, broadly encapsulated by Web3, blockchain, and the burgeoning metaverse. These technologies are not just about cryptocurrencies. They represent a fundamental reimagining of how ownership, trust, and value are exchanged in the digital world. Blockchain's immutable ledgers are poised to revolutionize everything from supply chain management and intellectual property rights to identity verification and financial services, cutting out intermediaries and fostering unprecedented transparency. The metaverse, while still in its nascent stages, promises a convergence of physical and digital realities, creating immersive virtual economies where digital assets, experiences, and social interactions will hold tangible economic value. Understanding the underlying principles of decentralization and the potential for new forms of digital ownership is crucial for discerning where new wealth will be generated. This isn't merely a technological fad, it's a foundational shift in how value is created, owned, and transferred in the digital age, offering fertile ground for innovative ventures and strategic investments. The implications of Web3 extend far beyond speculative digital assets. They are laying the groundwork for entirely new economic models and asset classes. Non-fungible tokens, NFTs, for instance, have already demonstrated the power of verifiable digital ownership, moving beyond art and collectibles into real estate, intellectual property, and even fractionalized ownership of physical assets. Decentralized autonomous organizations, DAOs, are experimenting with new forms of governance and collective decision-making, potentially disrupting traditional corporate structures and investment vehicles. For the astute investor, this means identifying the protocols, platforms, and applications that are building the foundational layers of this new digital economy. It also involves understanding how to leverage these technologies to enhance existing business models, offering greater transparency, security, and direct engagement with customers. The frontier of Web3 is vast and largely uncharted, presenting unparalleled opportunities for those willing to explore and innovate, moving beyond the noise to grasp the profound implications for future wealth creation. The escalating imperative for sustainability presents not just a global challenge, but also an unparalleled economic opportunity, reshaping industries from energy to agriculture. As environmental concerns intensify and regulatory pressures mount, there is a massive reallocation of capital towards sustainable solutions, creating entirely new markets and investment categories. Think of the explosive growth in renewable energy, from solar and wind farms to advanced geothermal systems, which are rapidly becoming more cost-effective than traditional fossil fuels. This transition requires significant investment in infrastructure, storage technologies, and smart grids, offering vast opportunities for development and innovation. Furthermore, the concept of a circular economy, which emphasizes reducing waste, reusing materials, and regenerating natural systems, is transforming manufacturing, logistics, and consumer goods. Businesses that adopt these principles are not only meeting consumer demand for ethical products, but also unlocking efficiencies and new revenue streams, positioning themselves for long-term resilience and profitability in a resource-constrained world. Within the sustainability revolution, specific sectors are poised for exponential growth, offering clear pathways to significant wealth. Climate technology, for example, encompasses everything from carbon capture and sustainable aviation fuels to precision agriculture and water purification systems. These are not merely niche markets, but essential industries addressing existential global challenges, backed by increasing governmental support and private investment. Investing in companies developing breakthrough sustainable materials, or those innovating in waste-to-energy solutions, represents a strategic play on the inevitable transition to a greener economy. Moreover, consumer demand for eco-friendly products and services is not a passing fad, but a deeply ingrained shift in values, driving innovation in sustainable fashion, organic food, and ethical supply chains. Those who can identify and scale the solutions that simultaneously address environmental needs and deliver economic value will be at the forefront of this profound economic transformation, turning global challenges into tangible wealth. Demographic shifts represent another powerful, albeit slower-moving, force that profoundly influences future wealth patterns. The global population is not only growing, but also aging in many developed nations, while emerging economies experience youth bulges and rapid urbanization. These shifts create distinct market demands and redefine consumer behavior on a massive scale. An aging population, for instance, drives demand for specialized healthcare services, age-in-place technologies, preventative wellness programs, and tailored financial products designed for retirement. Conversely, a burgeoning youth population in emerging markets fuels demand for education, digital entertainment, affordable housing, and accessible consumer goods, often leapfrogging traditional infrastructure with mobile-first solutions. Understanding these nuanced demographic trends allows entrepreneurs and investors to anticipate future needs and position their ventures to capture these evolving markets. It's about recognizing that people's needs change at different life stages and across different cultural contexts, offering a rich tapestry of opportunities for those with a keen eye. The implications of these demographic realignments are far-reaching, creating fertile ground for businesses that can adapt and innovate. urbanization continues to drive demand for smart city solutions, efficient transportation, and sustainable infrastructure, presenting opportunities in real estate development, construction, and urban planning technology. The rise of a global middle class, particularly in Asia and Africa, is creating an unprecedented consumer base with growing disposable income, eager for quality products and services that were once exclusive to developed nations. This opens doors for businesses focused on export, localized production, and culturally relevant offerings. Furthermore, the increasing diversity of global populations fuels demand for inclusive products and services, creating a competitive advantage for companies that genuinely understand and cater to varied cultural preferences. By meticulously analyzing these population shifts, one can uncover vast, untapped potential for wealth creation, moving beyond conventional market analysis to truly understand the human element driving economic growth. The very nature of work and economic participation is undergoing a profound transformation, giving rise to the creator economy and solidifying remote work as a permanent fixture. The creator economy empowers individuals to monetize their unique skills, passions, and intellectual property directly, bypassing traditional gatekeepers and fostering unprecedented levels of entrepreneurial activity. From digital artists selling NFTs to content creators building massive audiences on platforms like YouTube and TikTok, new revenue streams are emerging daily, democratizing access to wealth creation. This shift necessitates new tools and platforms for content creation, audience engagement, and monetization, presenting significant opportunities for tech innovators. Simultaneously, the widespread adoption of remote work has reshaped demand for commercial real estate, redefined urban planning, and accelerated the need for sophisticated communication and collaboration tools. Businesses that understand how to empower remote teams, provide essential services to digital nomads, or capitalize on the changing dynamics of physical space will be well positioned to thrive in this evolving landscape. The longevity economy, driven by advancements in biotechnology and healthcare, represents another colossal trend that will shape future wealth. We are on the cusp of a revolution in personalized medicine, gene editing, and preventative care that promises to extend human lifespan and enhance quality of life in unprecedented ways. This isn't just about treating illness, but optimizing health and delaying the aging process, creating an entirely new market for anti-aging therapies, diagnostic tools, and health span extending technologies. The convergence of AI with biotechnology is accelerating drug discovery, enabling more precise treatments, and facilitating the development of sophisticated health monitoring devices. For investors, this means identifying the companies pioneering these breakthroughs, from pharmaceutical giants investing heavily in gene therapies to startups developing wearable health tech. The ethical and regulatory challenges are significant, but the economic potential is staggering, promising to redefine not just healthcare, but the very experience of human existence, offering immense opportunities for those who can navigate this complex yet promising frontier. Finally, the shifting geopolitical landscape and evolving global supply chains are creating both challenges and opportunities for wealth creation. The emphasis on supply chain resilience, regionalization, and even reshoring of manufacturing is disrupting established trade patterns, but also fostering new domestic industries and partnerships. Geopolitical tensions are accelerating investment in strategic technologies like semiconductors, rare earth minerals, and cybersecurity, creating high-growth sectors for those who can innovate and scale. Furthermore, the rise of new economic blocs and trade agreements is reshaping market access and competitive advantages, requiring businesses to be agile and strategically diversified. Understanding these macro-level shifts allows for proactive adjustments in investment strategies, identifying regions and industries that are poised for growth due to these reconfigurations. It's about recognizing that global stability is fluid, and those who can adapt their operations and investments to a more complex, multipolar world will be better positioned to secure and expand their wealth. The ability to anticipate and respond to these large-scale shifts is a hallmark of sophisticated wealth creation. Ultimately, the ability to scan the horizon is not a passive exercise, but an active, continuous discipline of critical observation, synthesis, and strategic planning. These trends, technological acceleration, sustainability imperatives, demographic shifts, and geopolitical realignments, are not isolated phenomena. They are interconnected, each influencing and amplifying the others. True mastery of wealth creation lies in understanding these intricate relationships, identifying the convergence points where multiple trends create exponential opportunities. It requires an open mind, a willingness to question conventional wisdom, and the courage to invest in nascent, often misunderstood areas. By consistently engaging with this process, you move beyond merely participating in the economy to actively shaping its future, positioning yourself not just to react to change, but to proactively build the next generation of wealth. This foundational understanding is the essential first step in mastering the playbook for extraordinary financial success, setting the stage for the specific strategies we will explore in subsequent sections. Embracing this forward-looking mindset means cultivating a network of diverse thinkers, engaging with cutting-edge research, and maintaining a healthy skepticism towards established norms. It's about recognizing that the greatest fortunes are often built by those who see what others overlook, who dare to venture where others hesitate. This isn't about chasing every shiny new object, but rather about identifying the enduring forces that will drive long-term value creation. The insights gleaned from meticulously scanning the horizon will inform your decisions on niche markets, guide your investments in disruptive technologies, shape your strategic partnerships, and ultimately empower you to turn complex problems into highly profitable ventures. Your journey to ultra-high net worth begins with this foundational clarity, transforming uncertainty into a landscape of unparalleled opportunity. This is where the truly ambitious begin to separate themselves from the pack, preparing to capitalize on the future as it unfolds. Niche markets and untapped potential. While the allure of massive, established markets often captivates the aspiring entrepreneur, true generational wealth frequently blossoms from a far more focused and strategic approach, the deliberate cultivation of niche markets. Many chase the broad appeal, vying for a sliver of a gargantuan pie, only to find themselves embroiled in relentless price wars and commoditization. The astute wealth builder, however, understands that extraordinary profits are not merely a function of market size, but rather of market depth, unmet needs, and the capacity to serve a highly specific segment with unparalleled precision. This chapter delves into the often overlooked power of these specialized domains, revealing how targeting an underserved corner can be the most direct route to building a $100 M enterprise. Defining a niche for the ultra-wealthy isn't about simply finding a small market. It's about identifying a distinct group with specific, often acute, needs that are currently unaddressed or poorly served. It requires a forensic examination of existing markets, not just for gaps, but for systemic inefficiencies, latent desires, or emergent problems that larger, more generalized players are either too slow or too indifferent to tackle. These are not merely segments. They are communities of demand, often characterized by unique psychographics, behaviors, or professional requirements that create a natural barrier to entry for less specialized competitors. Understanding this distinction is paramount to unlocking the strategic advantages that follow. The primary strategic advantage of operating within a well-defined niche lies in the dramatic reduction of direct competition, allowing for superior pricing power and significantly healthier profit margins. In a crowded market, every sale is a battle, often won by the lowest bidder, eroding value for all participants. Conversely, when you are one of the few, or even the sole provider capable of solving a highly specific problem for a discerning audience, your value proposition becomes almost irreplaceable. This position of near monopoly, even on a smaller scale, translates directly into amplified revenue streams and a robust bottom line, fundamentally altering the economics of your business model. Uncovering these overlooked pain points demands a level of empathy and analytical rigor that extends far beyond casual observation. It involves immersing oneself in the daily challenges, frustrations, and aspirations of a specific group, listening not just to what they say, but to what they don't say, and observing where their current solutions fall short. This deep dive often reveals invisible problems that are so ingrained or complex that the target audience has simply learned to live with them. Or they may not even articulate them as problems, but rather as inescapable realities. Solving these deeply felt, unaddressed issues is where truly transformative value creation begins. Once an acute pain point is identified within a niche, the ability to craft a hyper-targeted product or service becomes a powerful differentiator. Generic solutions often satisfy no one completely, leading to lukewarm adoption and high churn rates. However, by focusing on a narrow market, you can engineer offerings that are exquisitely tailored to the specific nuances and requirements of your audience, achieving an almost perfect product-market fit. This precision not only enhances customer satisfaction and loyalty, but also streamlines your development, marketing, and operational efforts, making every resource expenditure significantly more impactful. The most effective niche identification moves beyond rudimentary demographic segmentation, delving into the intricate world of psychographics, behavioral patterns, and shared values. It's not enough to know someone's age or income. Understanding their aspirations, their fears, their daily routines, and their decision-making triggers is what truly illuminates untapped potential. What drives their purchasing decisions? What information sources do they trust? What communities do they belong to? These deeper insights enable the creation of highly resonant messaging and solutions that speak directly to the core identity and needs of the niche, forging a much stronger connection. Emerging trends, whether technological, societal, or economic, are fertile ground for the discovery and exploitation of new niche markets. As industries evolve, new problems arise, and existing solutions become obsolete, creating vacuums that specialized ventures can rapidly fill. Think about the shifts driven by remote work, the gig economy, or the increasing demand for sustainable products. Each of these macro trends fragments existing markets and creates micro opportunities for those who are agile enough to identify and capitalize on them. Scanning the horizon for these nascent shifts is a critical component of proactive wealth creation. Before committing substantial capital and resources, rigorous validation of a perceived niche opportunity is indispensable. This isn't about building a full-scale product. It's about conducting lean experiments to test core hypotheses regarding demand, pricing sensitivity, and willingness to pay. This might involve surveys, landing page tests, minimum viable product (MVP) launches, or direct engagement with potential customers to gauge interest and gather feedback. Data-driven validation minimizes risk and ensures that the significant investment of time and capital is directed towards opportunities with demonstrable market pull, preventing costly missteps. A common misconception is that operating in a niche inherently limits growth. On the contrary, mastering a niche often provides a powerful launchpad for exponential expansion. Scaling within a niche involves deepening market penetration, expanding your product or service offerings to address adjacent pain points for the same audience, or even vertically integrating to control more of the value chain. Once you dominate a specific segment, your brand authority, customer loyalty, and deep understanding of the market can be leveraged to capture a larger share of wallet or to move into closely related, equally lucrative micro-niches, creating a network of specialized dominance. Early entry and uncompromising focus within a niche allow for the construction of an impenetrable moat around your business, deterring potential competitors. This moat can be built through proprietary knowledge, deep customer relationships, specialized intellectual property, or a highly optimized operational model tailored to the niche's unique demands. By becoming the undisputed expert and preferred provider, you create significant barriers to entry for others, securing long-term profitability and insulating your enterprise from the aggressive competition that plagues broader markets. This strategic fortification is key to sustained, ultra-high net worth accumulation. Embracing a niche strategy requires a fundamental mindset shift for many entrepreneurs, moving away from the conventional wisdom of seeking mass appeal. It means letting go of the desire to be everything to everyone, and instead committing to being indispensable to a select few. This psychological pivot towards targeted excellence, rather than diluted breadth, is crucial. It demands courage to narrow your focus, confidence in your ability to deeply understand and serve a specific segment, and the strategic foresight to recognize that true leverage often comes from depth, not just sheer volume. Consider the countless examples of businesses that started by serving a hyper-specific need before expanding their influence. Think of software designed exclusively for veterinary practices, or consulting firms specializing solely in regulatory compliance for a particular industry, or even luxury services tailored for ultra-high net worth individuals seeking unique experiences. These ventures didn't start by trying to conquer the world. They began by solving a very specific problem for a very specific group, building undeniable expertise and loyalty, which then provided the foundation for their eventual multi-million-dollar valuations. Your unique expertise, whether personal or collective within your team, can be an extraordinary asset in identifying and dominating a niche. Existing knowledge, professional networks, or even passionate personal interests can illuminate opportunities that remain invisible to outsiders. When you possess intrinsic understanding of a specific field or community, you're not just observing, you're participating, sensing nuances, and recognizing subtle needs that others miss. This authentic advantage allows you to craft solutions with an authority and relevance that generic competitors simply cannot replicate, accelerating your path to market leadership. The compounding effect of niche mastery is where the journey to $100 million truly accelerates. Successfully dominating one niche generates not only significant profits, but also invaluable intellectual capital, brand reputation, and operational efficiencies. This foundational success provides the resources and credibility to either expand into adjacent niches, replicating your specialized model, or to vertically integrate, capturing more value within your existing domain. Each successful niche conquest strengthens your overall position, leading to exponential growth and the creation of a diversified yet highly specialized wealth-generating ecosystem. However, a critical pitfall to avoid is the temptation of premature expansion or diversification out of a niche before it has been truly dominated. Many entrepreneurs, emboldened by initial success, prematurely dilute their focus by chasing new markets or offering too many unrelated services. This often leads to a loss of specialized advantage, strained resources, and a decline in overall effectiveness. True mastery requires patience and unwavering commitment to fully exploit the chosen niche, building an unassailable position before strategically considering the next phase of growth. In an increasingly interconnected and information-rich world, where generalists struggle to differentiate, the future of ultra-wealth creation undoubtedly lies in hyper-specialization. The ability to identify, understand, and exquisitely serve the precise needs of distinct communities will be the hallmark of those who build lasting, significant fortunes. By intentionally seeking out these niche markets and dedicating yourself to becoming the undisputed leader within them, you are not just building a business. You are constructing a powerful, resilient, and highly profitable engine for generational wealth. Leveraging disruptive technologies for growth. In the relentless pursuit of ultra-high net worth, simply optimizing existing models is no longer sufficient. True exponential growth often hinges on the shrewd identification and masterful leverage of disruptive technologies. These aren't just incremental improvements to current systems. They are fundamental shifts that redefine industries, create entirely new markets, and render old ways of doing business obsolete. For those aiming to scale beyond the comfortable seven-figure mark, understanding and integrating these groundbreaking innovations is not merely an option, but an absolute imperative for sustained generational wealth creation. The landscape is continuously reshaped by advancements that, if embraced strategically, can propel a venture from strong performance to market dominance, unlocking unprecedented levels of value. The initial challenge lies in discerning genuine disruption from fleeting trends, a skill that demands both deep market insight and a keen eye for nascent potential. Disruptive technologies typically offer a superior value proposition, often at a lower cost or with greater accessibility, thereby democratizing capabilities previously reserved for a select few. Think about the early days of cloud computing, mobile internet, or even e-commerce. These weren't just new tools, but foundational shifts that empowered entirely new business models and customer expectations. Identifying these early signals requires active engagement with research, cross industry analysis, and a willingness to look beyond conventional wisdom, seeking out the quiet revolutions before they explode into public consciousness. Moving beyond the initial identification, the real strategic advantage comes from understanding the core value proposition of these technologies, rather than getting lost in the technical jargon or marketing hype. Many promising innovations fail to deliver because their fundamental utility isn't aligned with pressing market needs or scalable business applications. A discerning entrepreneur must cut through the noise, asking critical questions. Does this technology solve a significant, unaddressed problem? Does it create a new form of efficiency, access, or experience that fundamentally alters consumer behavior or operational paradigms? Answering these questions rigorously is essential for making informed investment and integration decisions that yield substantial returns. Consider the transformative power of artificial intelligence, AI, and machine learning, ML, which are no longer futuristic concepts, but integral components of modern enterprise. These technologies are revolutionizing everything from customer service and supply chain optimization to personalized marketing and predictive analytics, allowing businesses to operate with unparalleled efficiency and insight. Implementing AI/ML intelligently can automate repetitive tasks, uncover hidden patterns in vast datasets, and enable a level of strategic decision-making previously unattainable, thereby creating significant competitive moats and driving exponential scaling of operations and profitability. Similarly, the decentralized architecture offered by blockchain technology extends far beyond its initial association with cryptocurrencies, presenting immense potential for reshaping trust, transparency, and transactional integrity across various sectors. Imagine secure, immutable records for supply chains, verifiable digital identities, or entirely new models of data ownership and monetization. Businesses that strategically explore and integrate blockchain solutions can unlock efficiencies, reduce fraud, and build new ecosystems of trust with partners and customers, fundamentally altering how value is exchanged and secured in a digital world. The emerging concept of the metaverse, while still in its infancy, represents another frontier ripe for disruption, promising immersive digital experiences that blend physical and virtual realities. This evolving space holds profound implications for commerce, entertainment, education, and remote collaboration, creating entirely new avenues for engagement and value creation. Early adopters who begin to strategically explore and establish a presence within these nascent virtual worlds, understanding the underlying technologies and user behaviors, stand to gain significant first-mover advantages as this new digital economy takes shape. Beyond the digital realm, biotechnology and life sciences are undergoing a period of unprecedented innovation, offering profound opportunities for long-term wealth creation. Advances in gene editing, personalized medicine, and longevity research are not only addressing critical global health challenges, but also creating multi-trillion-dollar markets. Investing in and strategically partnering with ventures at the forefront of these scientific breakthroughs requires a long-term vision and a deep understanding of complex regulatory and ethical landscapes. But the potential for foundational impact and enduring value is immense. The global imperative for sustainability is also driving rapid advancements in green technologies, presenting a dual opportunity to address environmental concerns while building formidable wealth. Innovations in renewable energy, sustainable manufacturing processes, carbon capture, and circular economy models are not just eco-friendly initiatives, they are solutions to pressing global needs with massive market demand. Businesses that can develop and deploy scalable, cost-effective green technologies will tap into a growing wave of investment and consumer preference, positioning themselves at the forefront of a sustainable economic future. Yet, merely observing these technological shifts is insufficient. The true mastery lies in their strategic integration into existing or entirely new business models. This demands an agile approach, moving quickly from pilot projects to scaled implementation, constantly learning and iterating based on real-world feedback. It means not being afraid to cannibalize existing, less efficient processes with technologically superior alternatives, even if it feels counterintuitive in the short term, to secure long-term competitive advantage and market relevance. To effectively leverage disruptive technologies, organizations must cultivate an internal innovation ecosystem that actively encourages experimentation and embraces calculated risk. This involves more than just allocating budgets. It requires fostering a culture where new ideas are welcomed, tested, and if proven viable, rapidly scaled. Investing in dedicated R&D, establishing innovation labs, and strategically partnering with tech startups or academic institutions can provide the necessary infrastructure and external perspectives to keep the enterprise at the cutting edge of technological advancement. Navigating this technological transformation often means confronting significant internal resistance, from overcoming entrenched legacy systems to managing the natural human apprehension toward change. Leaders must champion the vision, clearly articulating the long-term benefits and providing the resources and training necessary for successful adoption. It's about demonstrating that embracing these new tools is not just about efficiency, but about securing the future relevance and prosperity of the entire organization, transforming potential threats into unparalleled opportunities. Ultimately, disruptive technologies enable a shift from linear to exponential growth, a critical distinction for those aiming for the $100M Playbook. By leveraging automation, AI-driven insights, and network effects inherent in many modern platforms, businesses can scale operations, reach wider markets, and generate revenue at a pace unimaginable through traditional means. This nonlinear growth trajectory is the hallmark of truly successful ventures in the digital age, allowing for rapid market penetration and the establishment of dominant positions with unprecedented speed. The human element remains paramount in this technological quest, emphasizing the critical need for identifying, attracting, and retaining top-tier talent with specialized expertise. Data scientists, AI engineers, blockchain developers, and cybersecurity experts are not merely support staff. They are the architects of future value. Building cross-functional teams that seamlessly blend deep technical knowledge with astute business acumen is essential for translating complex technological capabilities into tangible market advantages and sustainable growth. While the opportunities are vast, so too are the inherent risks associated with investing in rapidly evolving and sometimes unproven technologies. Prudent risk management becomes a cornerstone of any successful strategy, advocating for diversified investment portfolios, phased rollouts, and continuous market intelligence to adapt to unforeseen challenges. The balance lies in being bold enough to embrace innovation while maintaining the foresight to mitigate potential pitfalls, ensuring that ambitious ventures are built on a foundation of calculated resilience. The pace of technological evolution shows no signs of slowing. Therefore, continuous adaptation is not a one-time project, but an ongoing organizational mandate. Establishing robust systems for perpetual scanning, rigorous evaluation, and agile piloting of emerging technologies ensures that the enterprise remains perpetually relevant and competitively advantaged. For those on the path to ultra-high net worth, mastering this dynamic landscape is about more than just keeping up. It's about consistently positioning oneself at the vanguard of innovation, ready to capitalize on the next wave of disruption. The art of strategic partnerships and alliances. No single individual, no matter how brilliant or driven, can achieve the pinnacle of wealth creation in isolation. The journey towards a $100 million valuation and beyond demands a profound understanding of leverage, and among its most potent forms is the strategic partnership. This isn't merely about networking or casual collaborations. It's about forging deliberate, value-driven alliances that act as a force multiplier for your vision. Strategic partnerships accelerate market penetration, grant access to critical resources, and amplify your reach exponentially, far surpassing what any solo endeavor could achieve. They are the hidden engines behind many ultra-high net worth successes, providing the impetus for nonlinear growth. Learning to identify, cultivate, and manage these alliances is less a science and more a refined art, crucial for navigating complex markets and scaling ventures at an unprecedented pace. The wealthiest individuals rarely build their empires alone. They master the intricate dance of collaboration, transforming shared goals into monumental achievements. This mastery is a cornerstone of the $100 million playbook, distinguishing mere growth from truly explosive expansion. Understanding what truly constitutes a strategic partner is paramount, moving beyond superficial connections to identify deep, synergistic potential. A strategic alliance is not merely transactional. It's founded on a long-term vision where each party brings distinct, complementary strengths to the table. The goal is to fill critical gaps in expertise, market access, technological capabilities, or even brand credibility that would otherwise impede progress. When two entities combine their unique assets, the resulting collective power is invariably greater than the sum of their individual parts, creating a formidable competitive advantage. This requires a discerning eye, an honest assessment of your own limitations, and a clear articulation of your aspirations. True strategic partners elevate each other, opening doors and unlocking opportunities that would remain firmly shut to either party operating independently. It's about mutual growth, where the success of one is intrinsically linked to the success of the other, driving a shared trajectory toward extraordinary outcomes. Identifying the right partner demands a rigorous evaluation process that extends far beyond a surface-level assessment of their business. It is imperative to delve into their core values, ensuring a profound ethical alignment and a compatible work culture, as a misalignment in these fundamental areas can quickly derail even the most promising venture. Scrutinize their track record, their reputation within the industry, and their unwavering commitment to long-term success rather than fleeting gains. Consider their existing network and influence, recognizing these as significant assets that can amplify your own reach and credibility. This meticulous due diligence phase requires patience, deep research, and often external expert consultation, because selecting the wrong partner can prove far more detrimental than choosing no partner at all. Approaching this decision with the gravity of choosing a co-founder for a new enterprise underscores the incredibly high stakes involved in forging truly strategic alliances. To truly unlock exponential growth, challenge yourself to look beyond the obvious, conventional alliances within your immediate industry. Sometimes, the most powerful and transformative partnerships emerge from entirely unexpected sectors, fostering cross-industry collaborations that yield novel solutions and penetrate untapped market segments. Imagine a cutting-edge technology firm partnering with a luxury lifestyle brand, not merely for co-marketing, but to fundamentally redefine customer experience and product delivery. These unconventional pairings often serve as catalysts for disruptive innovation, creating competitive advantages that are difficult for rivals to replicate. Such foresight requires an open mind, a willingness to explore seemingly disparate competencies, and the ability to envision synergies where none are immediately apparent. By combining unique core capabilities from diverse fields, you can forge entirely new value propositions that resonate deeply with a broader audience, effectively creating new categories and dominating emerging landscapes. The spectrum of structures available for strategic partnerships is vast, each carrying varying levels of commitment, risk, and potential reward, necessitating careful consideration. At one end, you might find informal co-marketing agreements or simple referral networks, requiring minimal legal overhead, but offering limited strategic depth. Moving along the continuum, you encounter more formalized arrangements like supply chain integrations, licensing agreements, or joint research and development initiatives, which deepen collaboration without merging entire operations. Joint ventures represent a significant leap involving the creation of a new, distinct legal entity, demanding substantial shared capital, resources, and decision-making power. Equity partnerships, where one entity takes a stake in another, offer a strong alignment of interests and a long-term commitment. The optimal structure must meticulously align with the strategic objectives, the desired depth of collaboration, and the risk tolerance of all involved parties, ensuring a framework that supports sustained and mutually beneficial growth. One of the most compelling advantages of strategic partnerships lies in their capacity to multiply resources far beyond mere capital injection. These alliances grant invaluable access to proprietary intellectual property, cutting-edge technology, or highly specialized talent pools that would otherwise be unattainable or prohibitively expensive. Shared infrastructure, such as manufacturing facilities or expansive distribution networks, can drastically reduce operational overheads and dramatically accelerate time to market for new products or services. This intelligent pooling of diverse resources empowers ventures to undertake ambitious projects that would be impossible for a single entity to execute, effectively de-risking large-scale investments by distributing the financial burden and leveraging collective expertise. Consider, for example, how an agile startup can harness the established manufacturing prowess of a large corporation, instantly scaling its innovative product. This collaborative approach effectively extends the operational reach and inherent capability of each partner, creating a powerful, interconnected engine for exponential expansion and continuous innovation. Beyond the tangible resources, strategic partnerships play a pivotal role in mitigating inherent business risks and significantly enhancing market credibility. By sharing market intelligence and leveraging localized expertise, partners can collectively navigate complex regulatory landscapes or enter volatile international markets with a much higher degree of safety and insight. Furthermore, aligning your brand with a reputable, established partner instantly confers a halo effect, elevating your own brand perception and trustworthiness in the eyes of customers, investors, and the broader industry. This bolstered reputation can unlock doors to new client segments, attract higher caliber talent, and secure more favorable investment opportunities. For ventures resolutely aiming for the $100M mark and beyond, this enhanced credibility is an invaluable, often underappreciated asset, signaling stability, reliability, and a robust support system to the market. It represents a proactive strategic maneuver, insulating against unforeseen challenges while projecting an image of formidable strength and sustained viability. The indispensable role of meticulous due diligence cannot be overstated. It is the bedrock upon which any successful strategic partnership is built. This investigative phase extends far beyond a cursory review of financial statements, delving deeply into a prospective partner's operational integrity, ethical framework, and cultural compatibility. It is crucial to thoroughly investigate their history with past collaborations, scrutinize their industry reputation, and identify any potential liabilities or unresolved disputes that could surface later. Evaluate the stability of their leadership team and their unwavering commitment to ethical business practices, as any blind spots here can lead to irreparable damage, not just financial losses, but profound reputational harm. Engage independent legal, financial, and operational experts to uncover any red flags before committing resources or reputation. A partnership is a long-term commitment, akin to a business marriage, demanding a deep and comprehensive understanding of every facet of your chosen ally. Never rush this critical phase. The patience exercised here serves as the ultimate safeguard against catastrophic errors down the line. Once a suitable partner is identified, the meticulous crafting of a robust and unambiguous agreement becomes paramount, serving as the operational blueprint for the entire collaboration. This legal document must be painstakingly drafted, leaving absolutely no room for misinterpretation or future contention regarding responsibilities, expectations, or outcomes. Clearly delineate the roles, responsibilities, and decision-making processes for each party, establishing transparent channels for communication and dispute resolution mechanisms. Explicitly outline performance metrics, profit-sharing formulas, intellectual property ownership, and confidentiality clauses to protect all stakeholders. Crucially, a comprehensive agreement must include meticulously planned exit strategies and termination clauses, anticipating various scenarios that might lead to the dissolution of the partnership. By proactively addressing potential conflicts and outlining resolutions within the legal framework, you safeguard against future disagreements and ensure clarity. This meticulously structured agreement is not merely a formality. It is the indispensable foundation that protects all parties and ensures the sustained, harmonious progression of the collaboration. While a robust agreement provides the structural framework, the ongoing cultivation and nurturing of the partnership relationship are what truly ensure its longevity and success. The signing of a contract is merely the beginning. The relationship itself requires continuous attention, much like a living entity. Regular, transparent communication is absolutely paramount, fostering an environment of trust and maintaining strategic alignment between all parties. Actively work to foster mutual respect, encouraging shared problem solving and open dialogue rather than siloed efforts. It is vital to celebrate joint successes, acknowledging collective achievements, and to address challenges collaboratively, focusing on solutions rather than assigning blame. Invest dedicated time in understanding each other's evolving objectives, adapting to market shifts, and anticipating future needs. A strong personal rapport between the key leaders involved can significantly enhance the partnership's resilience, transforming potential friction points into opportunities for deeper connection. This continuous engagement ensures the partnership remains dynamic, adaptive, and capable of weathering any storm, truly embodying a collaborative spirit. Strategic partnerships create powerful network effects, exponentially expanding the collective reach and influence of all involved parties. Each partner brings their existing ecosystem of contacts, instantly providing access to new client bases, suppliers, investors, and industry influencers that would be difficult or time-consuming to cultivate independently. Imagine forming an interconnected ecosystem of complementary partners, where each entity adds unique value, thereby creating a self-reinforcing web of opportunities. Such an ecosystem can quickly dominate a specific market segment, establish new industry standards, or even create entirely novel value chains. This transforms individual efforts into a collective force that is incredibly difficult for competitors to contend with, generating a significant barrier to entry. The power of these extended synergistic networks is often vastly underestimated in traditional business models. Yet it is precisely where the true exponential growth potential of strategic alliances truly shines, propelling ventures far beyond their initial scope. Despite their immense potential, strategic partnerships are not without their inherent challenges, and anticipating and navigating these pitfalls is crucial for sustained success. Misaligned expectations, unspoken assumptions, or hidden agendas can quickly erode the foundational trust upon which any strong alliance is built. Power imbalances, where one partner consistently dominates decision-making or resource allocation, often lead to resentment, disengagement, and eventual collapse. A lack of clear communication channels, inconsistent feedback loops, or a failure to address minor issues promptly can allow small problems to fester into major conflicts. Furthermore, a partnership that fails to adapt as market conditions evolve, or as each partner's strategic objectives shift, can quickly become obsolete or a drag on resources. While conflicts are inevitable in any close collaboration, their effective and proactive resolution is what ultimately defines the partnership's strength and resilience. Regular reviews, honest assessments, and a willingness to course correct are absolutely essential for long-term viability, ensuring the alliance remains a dynamic asset rather than a liability. Measuring the true value of a strategic collaboration extends far beyond immediate financial returns, requiring a holistic approach to assess its multifaceted impact. Beyond simple profit sharing, focus on strategic key performance indicators such as accelerated market share growth, the acquisition of critical new technologies, or a demonstrable uplift in brand perception and equity. Evaluate the intangible gains, including the transfer of specialized skills, access to proprietary knowledge, or the development of new intellectual property. Quantify the reduction in operational costs, the shortening of product development cycles, or the accelerated time to market for new offerings. Crucially, consider the long-term strategic advantage gained, which might not be immediately visible on a quarterly balance sheet, but profoundly impacts future positioning. Regularly assess whether the partnership continues to align with your evolving strategic objectives and contributes meaningfully to your overarching vision. The true wealth generated often lies in the unlocked opportunities and the enduring competitive edge, rather than just transactional gains, demanding a comprehensive view of its far-reaching impact. The landscape of strategic partnerships is in a constant state of flux, necessitating an agile and forward-thinking approach to remain effective in a rapidly changing global economy. The proliferation of digital platforms, the acceleration of global markets, and the increasing complexity of geopolitical shifts demand that alliances be adaptable and responsive. Partnerships can now be forged across continents with unprecedented ease, opening vast new opportunities for market expansion and resource leveraging. However, this globalized environment also introduces additional complexities, such as navigating diverse cultural differences, varying legal frameworks, and intricate logistical challenges. The ability to effectively forge, manage, and optimize a diverse portfolio of geographically dispersed alliances is rapidly becoming a fundamental skill for the modern wealth builder. Staying agile, continually reevaluating existing partnerships, and being prepared to pivot or even gracefully exit when objectives diverge are paramount. The most successful wealth creators treat their alliances as living, breathing entities, requiring constant attention and strategic adjustment to thrive in an ever-evolving world. Ultimately, the art of strategic partnerships and alliances is about more than just immediate business gains. It is a fundamental pillar in the construction of generational wealth and a lasting legacy. These collaborations are not merely short-term tactical plays, but rather foundational elements that can underpin enduring enterprises, providing resilience and continuity across fluctuating market cycles. A robust network of well-chosen alliances creates a diversified base of support, expertise, and innovation that can outlast individual ventures and adapt to unforeseen challenges. For those committed to achieving the $100 mark and beyond, strategic partnerships are not an optional enhancement, but an indispensable component of their growth strategy. They represent a conscious, deliberate decision to leverage collective genius, share ambitious goals, and mutually empower each other's success. Cultivating these intricate relationships is a profound investment in the long-term stability, exponential expansion, and enduring impact of one's wealth ecosystem, culminating in a legacy built on collaborative strength and shared vision. Turning problems into profitable ventures. In the relentless pursuit of exponential wealth, a profound paradigm shift separates the merely successful from the truly extraordinary, viewing problems not as impediments, but as fertile ground for unprecedented opportunity. This chapter delves into the strategic alchemy of transforming pervasive challenges, market inefficiencies, and unmet needs into highly profitable ventures, a cornerstone methodology for those aspiring to the ultra-high net worth echelon. It's a mindset that consciously seeks out friction points, systemic bottlenecks, and consumer frustrations, understanding that where genuine pain exists, a significant market for a superior solution inevitably follows. Mastering this art requires a recalibration of perspective, moving beyond simply navigating obstacles to actively hunting for them, recognizing their inherent potential for value creation. For the astute entrepreneur, every unresolved issue in the market represents an unmined seam of economic potential, waiting for the right solution to unlock its latent value. True wealth builders possess an almost preternatural ability to identify prevalent problems that others either overlook, dismiss as too complex, or simply accept as an unchangeable status quo. This isn't about identifying minor inconveniences. It's about discerning deep-seated, widespread pain points that affect a significant demographic or industry, and for which existing solutions are either inadequate, cumbersome, or non-existent. Think of the monumental shifts initiated by companies that solved universal problems like inefficient transportation, inaccessible information, or fragmented communication. Their founders didn't shy away from the magnitude of these issues. Instead, they embraced them as the very foundation upon which to construct empires. Developing this discerning eye requires a blend of acute observation, critical analysis, and an unwavering curiosity about the why behind persistent difficulties. The initial step involves a rigorous process of problem identification, moving beyond superficial symptoms to uncover the root causes of friction. This often means immersing oneself in a particular industry, studying consumer behavior with anthropological precision, or critically evaluating existing infrastructures for points of failure and inefficiency. It's about listening intently to complaints, observing the workarounds people develop, and recognizing where significant resources, time, money, effort, are being wasted due to a lack of an effective solution. This phase is less about ideation and more about forensic analysis, meticulously dissecting the landscape to pinpoint the most acute and widespread pain points. The deeper the understanding of the problem, the more targeted and impactful the eventual solution can be, directly addressing the core needs of the market. Once a potential problem is identified, the next crucial phase is rigorous validation. This isn't merely an intuitive hunch, it requires empirical data and market research to confirm the problem's scope, severity, and the willingness of the affected demographic to pay for a resolution. Key questions must be answered. Is this problem experienced by a large enough segment of the population or industry to support a scalable business? How much pain does it truly cause? What are individuals or businesses currently doing to cope, and what are the limitations of those existing coping mechanisms? The answers to these questions will determine if the identified problem is a mere irritant or a genuine market gap ripe for disruption, providing the essential foundation for a viable and profitable venture. Critically assessing the inadequacies of current solutions is paramount. Rarely does a problem exist in a complete vacuum. Typically, there are stopgap measures, outdated technologies, or fragmented services attempting to address it, albeit poorly. Understanding precisely why these current solutions fall short, whether due to cost, complexity, lack of integration, poor user experience, or limited efficacy, provides the blueprint for a superior offering. This analysis reveals the specific attributes your solution must possess to truly differentiate itself and capture market share. It's not enough to just be different. Your solution must be demonstrably better, addressing the specific pain points that current options neglect, thereby creating compelling value for your target audience. With a thoroughly validated problem and a clear understanding of market deficiencies, the focus shifts to crafting an innovative solution that precisely targets these uncovered needs. This phase demands creative thinking, often drawing upon emerging technologies or novel business models to deliver an unprecedented level of effectiveness or efficiency. The solution must not only resolve the core problem, but also offer a compelling user experience, be economically viable for the target market, and possess inherent scalability. It's about envisioning a future where the problem no longer exists, and then reverse engineering the product or service that makes that future a reality. The most successful ventures aren't just incremental improvements. They are often transformative, redefining how a problem is addressed. The ability to leverage disruptive technologies, a concept explored earlier, becomes particularly potent in this problem-solving framework. Artificial intelligence, blockchain, advanced data analytics, and biotechnological breakthroughs are not mere buzzwords. They are powerful tools that can enable solutions previously deemed impossible or uneconomical. Integrating these cutting-edge capabilities into your problem-solving strategy can create a significant competitive advantage, allowing you to offer solutions that are not only more effective, but also more efficient and scalable than anything currently available. This strategic adoption of technology empowers you to leapfrog existing paradigms and establish new industry standards, solidifying your position as a market leader. Scalability must be ingrained in the very architecture of your solution from its inception. A brilliant solution to a widespread problem will only generate generational wealth if it can be delivered to an ever-expanding market without a proportional increase in costs or operational complexity. This means designing processes, platforms, and delivery mechanisms that are inherently efficient, automated where possible, and capable of handling exponential growth. Thinking about scalability from day one influences everything from your technology stack to your organizational structure, ensuring that your venture is not merely a successful startup, but a sustainable, high-growth enterprise poised for massive expansion. Without this foresight, even the most innovative problem-solving endeavor risks plateauing prematurely. Developing a robust monetization strategy is the critical bridge between solving a problem and generating substantial wealth. The value proposition must be so compelling that customers are not only willing, but eager to pay for your solution, recognizing its tangible benefits and the alleviation of their pain points. This involves thoughtful pricing models, whether subscription-based, usage-based, or value-based, that align with the perceived worth of the solution. Furthermore, exploring multiple revenue streams, strategic partnerships for distribution, or even licensing opportunities can amplify financial returns. The objective is to capture a significant portion of the economic value your solution creates, ensuring that your venture thrives financially as it solves real-world problems. Building an exceptional team is indispensable for translating a problem into a profitable venture. This requires assembling individuals with diverse skill sets, from deep industry expertise and technological prowess to marketing acumen and operational excellence. Each team member should not only be highly competent, but also share a fervent belief in the problem being solved and the vision for the solution. A collaborative environment where ideas are rigorously challenged and refined is crucial for iterating on the solution, adapting to market feedback, and overcoming the inevitable challenges that arise. The collective intelligence and unwavering commitment of a high-performing team are often the differentiating factors between a promising idea and a multi-million-dollar enterprise. The journey from problem identification to profitable venture is rarely linear. It is an iterative process demanding continuous refinement and adaptation. Market dynamics shift, competitors emerge, and customer needs evolve, necessitating a perpetual cycle of feedback, analysis, and improvement. This agile approach ensures that your solution remains relevant, effective, and competitive over time, consistently delivering superior value. Embracing this ongoing evolution, rather than viewing the initial launch as the finish line, is a hallmark of enduringly successful ventures. It's about fostering a culture of perpetual innovation and responsiveness, ensuring your solution continues to lead the market. Looking forward, the ultra-wealthy don't merely react to existing problems, they actively anticipate future challenges and societal shifts, positioning themselves to offer solutions before the issues become widely apparent. This proactive foresight involves staying abreast of technological advancements, demographic changes, geopolitical trends, and environmental shifts that will inevitably create new pain points and opportunities. By identifying these nascent problems, you can begin developing solutions ahead of the curve, establishing a first-mover advantage and cementing your position as a visionary leader. This strategic anticipation is a powerful differentiator, allowing for the cultivation of long-term, sustainable wealth creation. Ultimately, the most significant fortunes are often built upon the foundation of genuine value creation, solving problems that genuinely improve lives, enhance efficiency, or unlock new possibilities. Turning problems into profitable ventures is more than just a business strategy. It's a philosophy that aligns personal ambition with societal needs, creating a powerful synergy. This approach not only generates substantial financial returns, but also builds a legacy of innovation and impact, leaving an indelible mark on industries and communities. For those ready to master wealth creation, the path forward is illuminated by the problems waiting to be solved, each one a potential cornerstone of a $100M Playbook. Embrace the challenge of the unresolved, for within every significant problem lies the blueprint for a groundbreaking enterprise and the potential for extraordinary financial success. Develop an insatiable curiosity for what isn't working, cultivate a relentless drive to innovate, and assemble a team capable of executing a transformative vision. The world is replete with inefficiencies, unmet needs, and untapped potential, each a beacon for the discerning entrepreneur. Your journey to ultra-high net worth begins not with a search for capital, but with a profound commitment to identifying and definitively solving a problem that truly matters, thereby creating immense value for both your customers and your stakeholders.